Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with two familiar faces for those of you who know river cruising. Rudy Schreiner, who's president and CEO and co-founder of AmaWaterways, and Christine Karst, who is executive vice president and co-founder of AmaWaterways as well. Now, given the COVID-19 crisis, we wanted to talk to them about how AmaWaterways is working through this crisis and about how a restart of river cruising might look like in the next few months, we hope. First of all, both of you, from both the operational and marketing standpoint, how has AmaWaterways been handling this crisis so far?
So far, we have looked at the whole possibility at the worst case scenario. And for me, the worst case scenario is that we might not be cruising the entire season and start up again in 21. Mm-hmm. We are financially prepared for that. So whatever happens, the sooner we start, the better it is. Yeah, and the way it looks right now, the European cruise lines are thinking already about restarting towards the end of June, early July. Okay. After Easter, the first countries are kind of reopening their economies again. But the question is, what will happen in North America, in the US? Right. Will there be travel restrictions? Will Americans be allowed, and when will they be allowed? Yeah, so it looks right now like COVID-19 is passing faster right now, earlier through Europe, but we'll see what happens there. So like I said, worst case scenario, we don't cruise. Possibility we cruise in July, August. Hopefully by September we are back on and still get 4 good months of cruising into the season. It will all depend on travel restrictions by the governments.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll at least see Christmas on the Danube. We'll see what happens. Christine, how are you handling the marketing and sales, and how are you communicating with travel advisors?
Yeah, obviously we had to send everyone to work from home, but we have kept all our AMA family staff members, our team, in California, in Texas, in the UK, and also in Basel and Switzerland. It is actually busier than ever, I have to say, because we all need to connect in a virtual way, no matter if it's, team meetings, if it's meetings with our different clients, accounts, all the questions, but also that's the time for leadership and inspiration. And so we have upped our webinar Wednesdays. Every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, we do our webinars talking about different sides of the business. Just yesterday, we had the group business webinar again. We have guest speakers, some of our most successful travel advisors sharing their best advice. And I'm very impressed. We can only take 1,000 advisors at a webinar with the limits of GoToWebinar, but sometimes we have over 2,000 registered. Wow. So I see the interest is huge. Our team of BDMs is also very busy reaching out to all their advisors in their territories, doing virtual cruise nights. Like they all had scheduled, right? The live cruise nights together with their travel advisors and their clients. And now it's all done from a laptop in a virtual way. And we see even new groups coming on board by doing this. We plan virtual sip and sail hours. And that's not just for our North American clients. We do this across the globe. Last night we had a tea hour with our accounts in Asia. And then, of course, comes the UK. So it's actually a wonderful way to connect to each other again and to share the guidelines. AmaWaterways is very flexible. When it comes, we give so many options how to move business into the future.
Well, I was going to ask that about your cancellation and rebooking policy, about what you're doing with, and also the question goes, Are you seeing more, moving bookings forward later into the season, or are you seeing outright cancellations?
One big area we are working with some large tour operators who have big business with AmaWaterways. Yeah, the German government canceled AmaWaterways.
I know I was supposed to go. I had tickets.
So, and they moved it to 22. And a couple of weeks ago, they released the new dates. So those operators, they have part charters, full charters. There's a whole, maybe somewhere close to about 25, 30. They moved all their departures already to 22. So we came out, we just finalized last week the 22 deployment. Normally we don't release it until October. So we are very early with 22 because there seems to be a huge demand already for locking in 22 for groups, charters, part charters.
No, really.
Looks good.
That's great.
We had to suspend our cruises until June 30, 2020. And, in order to really create a win-win situation for everyone involved, we offer a 115% future cruise credit so that the client can win, the client who wants to move the business forward. For our travel advisors, we fully protect their regular commission for the suspended sailing when they choose the FCC. Plus, we are paying an additional 10% commission on the cruise when the new booking sails, and as well 5% on the cross air. That means air including taxes. And the 10% is for cruise, for the new booking, for cruise, for pre and post land arrangements, for insurance. So it's actually really a wonderful incentive to look into the future. And I think now that things have calmed down and everyone is confined to their homes and is really getting antsy to get out again, and everyone is so hungry to travel again, we see more and more clients who like to take the FCC instead of asking for a cash refund. Obviously, if this question comes up, we will do this as well. But the FCCs are the much better option, and they are also transferable in case the guest is not able to travel anymore. Then it's probably the best Christmas present to the family. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I'm sure everybody who is dying to get on a river cruise, they could think about going on Christmas. Now, one of the questions I have, we just want to reiterate, you've stopped operations until June 1 at this point?
June 30th.
June 30th.
Yeah.
So the earliest that you could go on a European river cruise with you would be June 30th, July 1.
In July.
Yeah, and hopefully, although I did hear some encouraging news, you have a lot of operations in Basel, I know, and I hear the Swiss think they might be open for business by April 26th, according to Martin Heit, is the CEO of Switzerland Tourism. Hopefully that is going to happen. Now, the question I also have, what about your other river cruise operations around the world beyond Europe? What's the status of those operations now?
I mean, we do not cruise on the Mekong through the summer period, through actually the spring and summer period. Yeah, we normally on the Mekong, we stop end of April and we start up again in August. So right now, there's no cruises on the Mekong, and we'll start we as scheduled back in August with our regular schedule.
So that's good.
So that's as is. Africa, we have suspended also until end of June for now. Yeah, so start up again in July, and we'll see how the whole how Africa is progressing with the COVID-19. Yeah, that is kind of a very unknown situation for the whole continent. Overall, South Africa is the only area that sees right now a little more cases, but the question is also in Africa, what is officially reported and what's going on. So this is a little bit of an unknown.
Yeah, no, and as you know, I know Your African river cruise is one of my favorites, and I think one of yours. Because it really is a wonderful experience. So hopefully that will be back in sound very soon. Rudy, what's happening to the actual ships now as they're laid up and not operating? I assume you have to keep workers, maintenance, and all kinds of things, right?
We have maintained our captains, second captains, and engineers. Yeah, so the nautical staff, we have 3 people on board. The Danube fleet is sitting in Linz in Austria, where they usually sit in the wintertime, so they remain in the same place. In Amsterdam, we rented the PTA, the passenger terminal in Amsterdam. So we moved our ships from Arnhem over to Amsterdam. Our ships are all under Swiss flag. The captains, second captains, engineers, they are all under Swiss contract. And actually the Swiss contract provides relief. 80% of their salaries actually is coming from the Swiss government and 20% from our side. So the ships have to be maintained. Yeah, there has to be staff on board, so the ships are being taken care of, and hopefully we can cruise soon.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to that. And in that vein, Christine, how should travel advisors be working with you and with their clients to make sure they can start selling river cruising when you're back in business and on the rivers and operating?
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of business that is currently being moved from the suspended sailings into Q4, Christmas time cruises, but also already into March and April next year. Some, like I just had a big charter movement from a suspended June departure to exactly the same date, June next year. Mm-hmm. So again, with the additional value we offer for the FCCs, we make sure that the clients will receive really the very same promotions again, so that the clients really feel everything what they wanted to do this year will be moved into next year. And we have actually quite a lot of advisors who are coming to open new groups. I mean, this is the time now to plant the seeds, right? Because later, with all the pent-up demand that is coming, we all will be even more busy than before. So this is the time now to, put the marketing material together. We have actually some wonderful marketing tools and sales kit that we are putting on our website right now, creating the flyers, to really talk and engage with everyone. Very important, we always feel, is to pick up the phone, to talk, to really be empathetic, to see how our clients, how the families are doing. Mm-hmm. And of course, then to talk about what, everyone likes to do next and how we will make this happen. And once everything starts again, then we are in full speed, well prepared, and things go. So it's actually, I always say, when there are challenges, there are great new opportunities. It's a time to reflect. It's a time of tremendous creativity that actually I see with messages, being communicated, videos being created. Some travel partners share video messages from their clients with us. They wanted to cruise on one of our rivers, on our beautiful ships, and now they are cruising on the lake, being their own captains. Now, we, after work is done in the evening at sunset, we are cruising on board the AmaRudy. That's Rudy's little boat, our first solar paddled boat. And we truly enjoy it and put already, our own minds, how maybe can we do all of these things with our larger ships on the rivers in Europe, Asia, and Africa. So there's a lot of fun actually happening in this special time as well.
Well, I think actually, Rudy, I think you should get that boat off the Ama Magna that you have there and bring it over here for a little while. What do you? There it is. That's beautiful.
I'll send you a picture of that one.
Okay. Anything else you want to get out to our 100,000 travel advisor viewers, both of you? Anything?
But one thing I want to talk about also is the whole situation of not being able potentially to cruise for harvest season or a season. Yeah, we always have been prepared for something like this. Yeah, and prepared more for maybe terrorism or other incidents, maybe even low water or critical seasons and so on. But in
low
the
water,
end,
that's a big crisis now, right?
So in the end, I mean, our ships are all paid off. We have even the current 2 ships we are building are being paid in cash. So we actually always were prepared to make it through a stressful season without losing much sleep. Yeah, so we still sleep nicely and quiet, and we are just ready to start up the season again. Yeah, so we in that respect, yeah, we are in a good position.
Yeah,
no, sounds great.
And I just want to say once again, our travel advisors, our partners are the foundation of our business. And it shows again for all the clients who have worked through a travel advisor, the trust that you create with your client, the way how you get to know your client, that actually helps all the sides, because what I see, the success of travel advisors looking into the bright future with their clients is very, very high. And it's very inspirational. So I just wanted to say thank you for all our travel partners, for all their tremendous support, for all the kind messages that we have received. We are in this together. We look very, very much forward to cruising together with you in the future again on board our beautiful ships. And I know there will be so many FEM opportunities and lots of time we will spend together on board our beautiful river cruise ships.
Well,
And I hope, of course, we can welcome you too. I think the Mekong is still missing for you, right?
yeah, I might have some time this year if you guys go back. Just let me know. We'll see if I can get out there. I'd love to go on cruising on the Mekong with you. I know in the past you've invited me in the past, and I've been busy on that time. But let's make some time for that. But listen, I want to thank both of you for taking the time to talk with us today. It's been great to see you virtually. I do hope to see you in person very soon, and please stay safe, stay well, and we're looking back, and we'll see hopefully business recover very soon.
It will be. Yes.
Thank you, James. Yeah, and all the best to you, and stay healthy.
Absolutely, and we remain positive and full of optimism.
We will.
Thank you.
And I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.